So, so weird to be talking about this. Everyone has always been really kind to me when it comes to my sister. If you don't know, she passed away in March. And it's been a really difficult year. And I had this whole thing written out, but it seemed really clinical because every time I would read it, I don't know, I felt like I was giving this weird statement, which I was, because this is a weird thing to talk about. And I posted today about her, how difficult it is to grieve when you've lost someone and you're going through the holidays and the new year. And I just kind of wanted to explain that I'm so thankful that people are so kind to me, but there have been times in the last 9 months that there have been very unkind things that have happened to me and my sister's partner, Cali, who I live with and I consider family. And I just feel like every time I post about her, I am only giving like this half-truth. So I really felt like I needed to say something because it's a weird situation and it's bonkers and it's... Anyways, so my sister passed away 9 months ago. And very shortly after, a video was put out online from someone who had never met her, never really had much interaction with her. And essentially this person and this video sparked a lot of hatred for myself and for Cali especially. This person really perpetuated some things that were pretty horrific. They insinuate in this video that my sister was continuously drugged, that she, that there had been drugs being sold in the house, that, there was a situation where the house that we all lived in, because I lived with my sister in Cali and obviously my husband and son at the time, it was put on the market very shortly after her death. And so this person particularly, they were insinuating that my husband and I murdered my sister and able to place the house on the market, which is just horrible because we didn't even own the house. And it really sparked this huge thing that a lot of people don't actually recognize, at least not on the side, from my side, that people even know about. And it, I think grieving was really hard enough, but because this video was insinuating such horrific things and this person just kept putting out information that was very personal, pictures of Cubby were online, our address was online, and personal information was put online. I got to a point where I was really living in fear. I was very fearful that someone was going to come and take Cubby. I was so fearful that someone was going to come and do something to us because they read somewhere, or that this person was perpetuating these lies that I hurt my sister. I got to a really dark place where I had insomnia and I had really bad paranoia and depression, and just every single day was filled with so much fear. And I still had to get out of bed, and I still had to take care of my son. And I was trying to do that all while grieving my sister. And this person was so relentless in their abuse. And just, it was just this horrible thing. And, you know, when someone that you love passes away, it's really hard because the world does not stop in the way that you want it to. It keeps going, which means that you still have to get up and go to work, and you still have to pay your bills, and you can't just stop paying your rent because someone passes away. And so when this person is insinuating that we're guilty because we're going to work, or that we did not love my sister because we have to provide, it's so incredibly hurtful. And, you know, everyone's journey of grief is so different, and to be constantly judged and subjected to these horrible comments in the way that you're grieving. And it's like, I wanted to stay in bed all day. And sometimes I did. But as a parent and as a person who is in a house with a child, you can't just put life on pause because you have to provide for that child. And so that's what my husband, myself, and Cali did. We all collectively leaned on each other, and we continue to lean on each other to get through the days that feel really, really hard, which are most days. And we try to do it with a smile on our face so that my son doesn't understand the gravity of what's going on. I just don't think people understand how hard it is for your toddler to come up to you when you're crying and to wipe away your tears and to be like, "Are you okay?" And I think I'm still suffering, obviously, from grief, but also from the mental health issues that came from that person's abuse and bullying. And, you know, Cali got a lot of it because she's much more at the forefront and on my sister and her Instagram page and their YouTube page. People were really unkind to her. A lot of people within, you know, my sister, her community did not rally the way that I really would wish a community would around someone whose partner passes away. There are specific people in that community who, you know, want to publicly be like, "Oh, look, I got this in memory." And then behind the scenes, they're actually working with the person who put out that malicious video to begin with. And when you're dealing with a bully, you don't get to just say, "This person is nice to me, so I'm going to ignore the fact that they actively bully and abuse other people." And that is exactly what this person did. They were abusing someone emotionally. They were bullying people. And it's just, they were so relentless. I have no idea why they picked Cali. I have no idea why they set their sights on my sister's death, but they used it in order to get followers and likes and subscribers, and it's fucking disgusting. it just completely overshadows all the amazing things that my sister was. And people don't need to be looking at her and wondering if, wondering anything. It's just, it's a really great example of online culture gone bad. It's someone who says, I'm going to actively choose to not be a decent human being so that I can have what? Be internet semi-famous for half a second? It's just, it's hard enough. It is hard enough when you are grieving someone that you love and that they're gone. Every day waking up is very difficult. Grief is like running with weights on your ankles. Those weights, they're heavy in the beginning. And then you actively get stronger and you don't feel them as much, but that does not mean that they are not there. And some days they really do weigh you down. And to be doing that, and then to have someone just relentlessly attacking you and your family. I got to the point where I literally felt like I could not go on. And to be honest with you, if it were not for Cubby, I do not know that I would still be here. There is so many feelings I feel around my sister's death. And processing them is such fucking trial. And it's like your mental health starts to deteriorate when people are just, you're worrying about everything else except dealing with this thing that happened. And there are some times where I still cannot believe that she is not here. And I wanted to make this and say this because I just literally got to a point where I could not go on. I feel like I've set aside people, I've set aside friendships, I've set aside jobs, and I literally have focused on nothing other than getting out of bed and breathing every day. And it's just, Cali is very brave for continuing on the way that she has. And she puts on a really good face, but it is really hard for her. And I feel that struggle. And, this person's video has been taken down. Thank God. But it was I think what I'm trying to say is it's really easy to sit and to watch someone's life as you think that you're getting and to judge them and to write mean comments and to be so critical of them. But you have no idea what they are going through. And, this situation to me is so freaking bizarre that this person would put out a video like this and really actively seek out Facebook groups to say things on. And, this person had information that either someone close to us gave them, or they either got this information. They were criticizing the eulogy that I gave at my sister's memorial service, which, like, if you have ever had to write a eulogy, you know, you do the best that you can. And it really eats away. It just really eats away at you. And it festers all this other stuff, you know, the stuff that you have when someone close to you is gone. You know, guilt and regret. And just all of that really disgusting feelings. And it's like, you already feel like you were, you know, it's really hard not to remember the times when you could have been nicer to that person, or you could have given them a little bit more of yourself. And so when someone is telling you that you're being selfish, you know, based on a fucking eulogy that you wrote, you know, it may be really satisfying that for that person to feel like they're calling you out. Or if you're the person who does this, if you are a person who sits behind your computer and feeds into the negativity, like, it's not nothing. It's not just an easily deletable comment. It really hurts. It really sits with a person. And I just think before you write things or you just so easily double tap, you know, this has consequences. And the consequences for me have been that my mental health has deteriorated to the point where, like, I basically stepped away from a lot of things because I just did not have the energy to focus on anyone else. And I just want people to understand what it is like. Because it's like all those people who were like feeding into the comments and this stupid video had never lost someone. And like, I get it. Until I lost my sister, I had only lost people who were in their 70s or 80s, and it seemed like a natural thing. And you're sad, but you're like, that's the way life is. But then to lose someone who is 25, who I very much felt maternal to, you're like, that's not the way life is supposed to go. And you feel a lot of feelings. And I guess if you take anything from this, I guess you should know that losing someone is a very multi-layered experience. I think that parenting through grief is like rolling a boulder up a hill that is never ending. And I think also that before you say negative things or you judge someone on a picture or a snapshot of their life, that you should really think twice. Is this the kind of person I want to be? Do I want to put something down that can be hurtful? Anyways, like I said, this is the weirdest thing I've had to do. But I feel like every time I post about my sister, or if you've noticed, I've taken a large step back in my internet presence. I feel like I felt like I was lying in some regard, that no one even had the full story. And I just can't. I just want to be done with it. I want to be done with that person. I want to stop thinking about this video. I want to stop thinking about this person. I want to tell my sister's friends who are working with this person that youth is not an excuse to be unkind. I want people to recognize that it does matter what you put on the internet. It matters what you say. That you need to think twice. That it's not just a little bit. It's a lot. One comment, you delete it and you move on. But when people put out videos and have these comment after comment after comment, I feel angry all the time. I feel angry that people took it upon themselves to do this. I feel angry that I have to hear Cali crying. I feel angry that I have to parent through this and that I can't just pack a bag and run away like I want to. I don't know. I just wanted to be honest. I wanted to leave this in the past year. I want to start moving on. I've done a lot of work the past 9 months, and Cali has. My husband has been incredible in dealing with everything going on with me while also mourning, because he knew my sister and he lived with her. And if you are suffering from grief and you have lost someone, I hear you. I see you. This is horrible. I would not ever wish grief on anyone. And I hope that you get the help that you need, because it took me a long time to realize that I actually really needed help. I hope that if you're being bullied on the internet over anything, you know that you matter, and you know that you're important to a lot of people. And if you need help, there is help out there. And your bullies have nothing on you. I just want you to know that you're loved. And lastly, I'll just say that my sister was the most amazing person I've ever known. And it would not have taken her 9 months to call people out, because she was so strong. And she was so amazing. And part of the reason why I'm doing this is I keep hearing her voice say, be bold, be audacious. And I would give anything to have her sitting here right now telling you that you matter and that people suck, but you don't have to suck if you choose not to. Being a shitty person is a very active decision. And anyways, thank you for your time. I guess, okay. Thanks so much.